Welcome back to the Boys on the Field podcast, episode 24, sponsored by the Offside Boys, who have the best vintage kits in the greater Toronto area. I am your host for today's episode, the newly upgraded Anthony Santia. We got Ethan Gabor, Big Tones, Anthony Lancione, and Ben Griffith. Boys, it's a sad day in Canada land, but it was bound to happen. What are your thoughts? Let's start with Ethan.
Oh, all right. Just overarching kind of view on everything from yesterday. It was a tough game. I won't lie. And listen, going into it, we all said it. We all kind of were like, listen, this is going to be a very tough opponent. This is not South Africa. This is not a Qatar. Like this is Morocco, who had just beat the Netherlands, who was ranked number 6 in the world. They're a very tough team, and they showed it, especially in that second half. I thought Canada played well. Uh, Kind of almost like, I guess not exactly like Switzerland, but they played well in the first half, and then just it kind of came out flat, and from there it was it. It's a tough ending to an otherwise very, very fun tournament overall. It's been an awesome month, and just kind of to cap off what has been just kind of an amazing ride of like 10 years of following this team and seeing how the tides have changed. This was the culmination of kind of everything. So when I look back on this, I'll obviously have a lot of joy and a lot of good memories and everything like that, but we'll get into it a little bit more later. I'm left with a little bit of disappointment and some questions potentially kind of about what happened overall in this tournament, but we'll get into that. But again, I love this team. I'm very proud of where they came from and tough ending, but we'll look back on it and be proud.
Now, it definitely was a tough outcome. Obviously, you never want to see your country lose. Kind of getting into the game, Ben, take me through your experience of just, getting set for Canada's second ever knockout game. Like, take me through your feelings going into it, knowing that this was going to be their first top 10 opponent of the World Cup.
It's just kind of a lot of deliberation over like who I would have rather played, the Dutch or Morocco. I think last episode I was very, very confident with the fact that I wanted or I would have rather played the Dutch. Um, I don't know if I mean like the closer I got to the game, I was like, or sorry, yeah, I would have rather played Dutch, but I was like, you know what? Actually, I think maybe Morocco would have been easier, or but I think ultimately it was just a lot of excitement. Expectations were I wouldn't say low, but I mean, again, like Ethan mentioned, it's Morocco. They're
Definitely.
semifinalists at the last World Cup, so you knew it was going to be a tough game. But yeah, I think just pre-game, it was mostly just hope, just a lot of hope, just kind of figuring it out in my brain how we could win this. What would the game kind of look like? And it looked very similar to how I thought it would. Actually, even better than I thought it would, to be honest, in that first half at least. But yeah, ultimately the result is kind of the expected one. I think the score line is kind of what disappoints me the most. I'm sure we'll probably get into that, but yeah, pre-game it was mostly just excitement, hope, and yeah, trying to as if I'm Jesse Marsh trying to figure out like what to do, how can Canada win this game? But yeah,
Well, Tones, you're the last one to speak on the pod, so I'll ask you this next question. Obviously, we went out, we watched the game together. You were a little bit late, but I know you were rushing to get there. I'm not gonna say that you were watching it while driving there, but what were your thoughts on the first 30 or so minutes into the game?
I was absolutely watching it while driving there.
out of
More, more
tones.
so, more so listening. Like I kind of just like I just try to listen while driving, and then like if something happens, I'll take a peek. From what I was seeing and hearing, they were on them. Morocco came out looking flat, which kind of shocking. Maybe it was a bit of fatigue, in the hot Mexican heat going into pens. It was a crazy emotional game. Probably weren't. Maybe they underestimated Canada a little bit, so they weren't ready for that. But at the end of the day, I mean, talked about this before. It's the finishing, man. That's really just what we were lacking was just the quality in the box, the quality in the final third to put the ball in the back of the net. And if even if they just got one, could have been a completely different game. But either way, still proud. But it definitely stings a little more. Even though going in, I felt that we were going to lose. The fact that it was that winnable just it makes it sting a bit more.
Yeah, it was definitely tough to watch. Tanny having the early chance in the first half, Bonu coming out off his line making a phenomenal save, but It sucks hindsight knowing that that was going to be our best chance at a goal, considering how quick Canada came out of the box, just like pressing. I'll move it back to you, Ethan. You know, first half was phenomenal. Just take me through your thoughts that you had at halftime, knowing how good Canada started.
Kind of like Tones just alluded to it. I mean, the first half was very good. And I was very happy to kind of see that Marsh wasn't really getting away from the style that we've kind of been seeing from this team. We didn't see them sit back at all coming out against what is a very fast and very good Morocco team. And I was kind of happy to see that because that's sort of when if they were to come out kind of flat and not want to play with the ball and not press very hard and all that, I would have kind of been a little bit scared because that's when you almost are, I guess, admitting defeat in a way when you completely kind of change your game based on just based on what you think the opponent is. So I was very happy to see that. The first half was very good, like you said, like almost immediately. I mean, they were getting corners left, right, and center right at the start of the match, and it was very good. And Tanny, obviously, hindsight's 2020 would have been nice there. Going into halftime, I was very happy with it. Ultimately, didn't last, but I thought it was a very good half, and I'm sure we'll dissect this second half here in a second.
Well, we're taking you right there now. Ben, 5 minutes into the second half, Morocco strikes. And then after that, the wheels kind of fell off the wagon. What do you think went wrong coming out of half into Morocco scoring 5 minutes in?
I don't know, maybe a bit of overconfidence, maybe getting into that dressing room at halftime and being and kind of maybe looking at each other and being like, whoa, that was a lot better than we thought it was going to be, and maybe just kind of riding that high. I don't know. I think, or it might have been a bit of Morocco just kind of taking it easy in the first 45 and really stepping into it, kind of like a bit of a shock to them. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean we saw an early goal at the beginning of the second half against Switzerland as well. So you kind of have to ask yourself, it's a mentality thing maybe, or what's going on in that halftime team talk. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it was inevitable to kind of run into that quality that Morocco have. We did that, right at the beginning of the half, and yeah, it's just a shame because even if you had pushed that goal back 10 minutes or so, might have given us a bit of a different second half there. Coming right into it and being 1-0 down was always tough, but yeah, I think it's just mostly like, yeah, I'd probably chalk it up to mostly Morocco just kind of getting into the game and coming out into that second half and going, okay, you know what, they dominated because we kind of did dominate that first half. They dominated the first half. We got to go out and show them who we are, and I think that's kind of what happened.
I got
Now,
oh,
yeah,
sorry, if
sorry,
I could
go.
just ask questions kind of based on what Ben was talking about there. Like, what do you guys think of the decision not to have bring on any subs right at half? Obviously, hindsight's 2020 now.
That was actually my
But
next
like,
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
I,
well,
I,
there you go. I stole it from you. But yeah, like what do you guys think of that, just obviously knowing what it led to and considering what the first half was going in? I mean,
I wouldn't have just because of how well we were playing. You don't want to break up with
Mhm.
that momentum. And if I'm Jesse Marsh and I'm sitting there watching that first 45, I'm thinking to myself, we can at least get to 60 playing similarly. We didn't, obviously. Like you said, hindsight is a great thing to have. But I mean, I don't think there was any reason to make any sub. We were playing well. Maybe we had a bit more momentum. I don't think the momentum was a huge swing in either way, but we were playing well. We had, it said we had 35% possession after that first half. That is a lie. We had way more than that. Um, and we were, we looked like we were kind of maybe not creating chances where we could finish like Tones talks about, but we were definitely in it. So I don't think a sub was needed. Obviously, looking back, probably would have been nice to make just to avoid that early goal. But yeah, I think we should be able to put out that same team that finished the 45 at least for the first 15, to me at least.
No,
For
that's fair.
me, for me, I know Tones. I was screaming this a lot yesterday at the restaurant, but as soon as that first goal goes in, that's when I would have started looking at my bench. The
Yeah.
fact that it took
That it didn't
almost,
happen, yeah.
yeah, well, the fact that it took almost another 15 minutes
Uh-huh.
until the 63rd minute to make a sub, and he kind of slipped it into Morocco's window as well. They made two subs, Amrabat coming on. I believe that's Talabi coming on as well, so they got very defensive very quick, and then we subbed on Kyle Laren, which, in my opinion, wouldn't have been the first sub. I was really looking at Promise David and Nathan Saliba, who didn't even play.
Mhm.
That was
No, Promise came
definitely
on.
No,
France
no, no,
No,
I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
the
no,
Oh,
no.
you're
Belgium.
Sorry,
saying
sorry,
so?
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Saliba
Fair,
didn't
fair,
come
fair.
on. I meant
Yes,
this
yes,
first
yes.
window. I wanted
Yeah.
those two, and then Nathan just. I don't know what happened with him. He didn't come on, and then you're kind of just out there playing, trying to drag your team back in it. Then the 82nd minute, Morocco doubles the lead, and then it's kind of just roll of the dice. Tones, what did you think as soon as Morocco doubled the lead?
Uh, I don't want to dog on him because of what he did in the last game. But like the first thing I said, like it literally as it was happening, I was like, "You stack it. Why didn't you just foul him?" Like as they were about to score, and
Yeah.
then they scored, and I was like, "Why didn't you foul him? You're not even on a yellow." I don't know if he was. I don't know if he had a yellow last game that would have suspended him for the next round. But like you can't really think too far ahead. It's like in the moment you have to make that foul. You have to. That's just like it's footy 101. I've done it a bunch of times. You play, you know, you got to foul them. Because it was what like a 4-on-2, I think, going the other way.
Yeah, I believe so.
And you
Yeah,
take that team foul any day of the
every
week.
any day of the week. Yeah.
yeah. Look at Chiellini, man. Yanking Saka
Just to
by
confirm,
the collar, man.
he was not on a yellow card, so he would have been fine
Yeah,
in the event
Well
of
then,
moving
yeah.
on.
I don't know. Maybe if he was just too gassed to do it because he was running a lot that game. He was kind of really the engine for us going forward. But yeah, just as soon as that went in, it was over. It was played well by Brahim Diaz. I was actually about to start dogging on him when he first cut back because I was like, "There's no way you're about to brick this chance here." And then he played it, and no, he finished again very nicely.
Mhm.
Ethan, after the second goal goes in, we see Jonathan Osorio and Jaden Nielsen come in. Um, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you think that's just Jesse Marsh waving the white flag and giving minutes to boys who hadn't really played much so
I
far?
I love how you're asking me this question because before the game yesterday, we were doing our show, which was basically kind of like a 4 hour like lead-in show to this game, right? And one of the hosts literally brings up like depth in the midfield and says Osorio is one of the names. And I'm sitting there behind the glass and I'm like, no, no, like not a chance, man. Like we do not want to see this guy. And I verbatim said to him, I said, if Osorio comes into this game, it means that we're waving the white flag. That is exactly what that meant as soon as that sub came on. There's no other reason to put him in that moment other than just to say, hey, at least I know he played against Bosnia as well. That was obviously just to kind of be at home
It
That
was
was
his
a hat.
birthday.
Yeah, that was a
It,
birthday
it
get
was
party.
that
his
BMO,
birthday.
yeah, and get that BMO Field kind of World Cup experience. And no, and again, it's the same thing there in this moment. It was waving the white flag. I mean, listen, Osorio's done his duty. He's been with this national team for what, 13 years or something almost. Like, again, I'm okay with it in that moment. But yes, it signaled that the game was over and that it was time to settle up your bill at the bar.
Which we
Ben,
did.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. As soon as we got up,
Yeah.
Ben. What are your thoughts on just Alphonso Davies overall? Only playing 15 minutes in the World Cup. Kind of tough not having him yesterday.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think throughout the tournament, that was a big conversation, how much time he was going to get, if he was going to play, how much he was. Um, and I think over the last few weeks, especially, a lot of the conversation has been like the root of why he's not playing, whether it's a Jesse Marsh decision, whether it's a Davies decision. I know a lot of people were talking about the Bayern Munich involvement as well, which I think is pretty big as well. We've come to find out that Davies apparently has come out. I didn't see it, but I've read it. I'm assuming it's real.
It is.
That he was the one
Yeah.
that said,
Yeah.
and that really disappoints me. I'm not going to lie. That really disappoints me. I think that if you're playing at a World Cup, it's not obviously the first three games were in Canada, or first four games were in Canada.
Three, three
Three,
for us.
Well,
yeah,
three,
sorry,
three.
three,
It would have
three,
been
three.
would have been four, could have been
Swiss
Would have been
five
got the
four. Yeah,
fourth.
sorry.
Yeah.
if things went a
Yeah.
different way. Yeah.
Swiss got the
So
fourth and the fifth.
so
Yeah.
the first three games are in Canada. He gets 15 minutes there. We're all itching for him to get on the pitch, and you almost feel bad for him that he's not getting on the pitch, and then to find out that it actually is his decision, and that it is like I don't, and it's fine. If you don't feel like you can give 100%, but we saw even just what his presence can do and the impact that it can have on the pitch when he came on against South Africa for the last 15 minutes. And if you can't give your country 10 or 15 minutes, we're down 1-0. If he comes on in the 75th again, Morocco probably doesn't score in the 82nd.
Mm.
You know, it probably maybe stays 1-0. Maybe we get a late goal to tie it up, but it would have changed the game. So I'm a bit disappointed that he didn't play. If he wasn't fit enough to play, then maybe that's for the best. But if you're the captain of your country, I do feel like maybe you got to take that risk. I know he's been dealing with injuries. And you don't want to end your career early and all that stuff. You got to think selfishly sometimes. But I don't know. I was disappointed hearing that.
Yeah, Jesse Marsh after the game yesterday pretty much said that it was Davies' decision. Said after training this would be
Friday, I think
Friday.
it
He
was.
he
Yeah.
wasn't feeling 100% and he felt a tweak in his thigh. Took an MRI, nothing
Mm.
showed. He was fine, but at the end of the day, especially with what had happened years prior, Davies telling him he wasn't ready to go, blows at his knee. Jesse's not going to do it again.
Yeah, it
So
makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah,
It definitely makes
once
sense.
once Davies says, "Hey, boss, I not 100%," Marsh isn't going to push him, but it does suck seeing your captain literally making arts and crafts on the bench when your nation's about to bow out of the World
And
Cup.
and the worst part is, Santia, is that they would show him on the bench and he had
Mhm.
his jersey on the seat behind him as if
Yeah.
he was going to be coming on in the coming minutes, or that he was going to be going to warm up just quickly. And like that's what happened against South Africa. They panned to him in his jersey,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh my god, he's coming on. And then for him to just not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I don't know if you've seen what Neymar's knees look like, but that guy played
yeah,
more
He
he,
played
minutes.
30
That guy
minutes.
played
yeah,
more minutes.
yeah.
Yep.
That guy
Guy
played more minutes
scored.
Played
today,
30
Guy
minutes,
and he
scored
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 enough.
today.
today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they
Not
gave
to
it to him.
compare injuries because it's obviously like it's apples and oranges, like everyone's different,
Mhm.
but like yeah, it was just disappointing.
Yeah.
Didn't touch pitch on home soil. Didn't come on in that game. Ah, this is the big what if with this team, right? Like, what if he was healthy? What if Kone didn't break his damn leg?
Yeah,
This, yeah,
like
What
you,
if
this is,
you
Flores
think
did blow out
you
his
think
knee?
about you think about the what ifs in this tournament for Canada, like,
it's a-
and they're mostly around. I mean, they're kind of all around injuries, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Like, imagine if a midfield of with Flores and Kone in there and
thi-
Eustachio. That would have
Balling.
this,
that would
yeah.
have that would have literally changed things for us.
This is exactly what I wanted to bring up to you guys here because literally exactly what you just said, Tones, the what if question. Like I found myself the entire like basically since this game ended, like constantly just being like this World Cup like is sort of almost a just giant what if surrounding everything. Again, you guys brought it up with the Davies thing, and I'm glad you brought up the whole the MRI and him saying it doesn't feel right. And then you go back, I mean, there's so many what ifs with this team from this World Cup. The Kone injury, the Flores injury, what if Bombito was at full health? What if John Dave could, finish in any game except for Qatar, like what, again, there's a lot of different questions that you can kind of have. And like, I wanted to ask you guys this. I don't want to say this World Cup was a disappointment whatsoever, because I don't think any of us consider that. I think we consider getting to the round of 16 a success. But does any part of you kind of feel like maybe there could have been more if we were just a little bit luckier? Like, or if we just
Absolutely,
like
100%.
I've
absolutely.
been having that feeling kind of like just being like, damn, like, we could have done better. Like,
Dude,
I mean,
I
there is
think
a little bit of
I
that.
told I told myself this after the Bosnia game.
Hmm.
If like Davies and Flores were healthy and playing, we would have won that game. And
Hmm.
then if those two plus Kone were healthy against Switzerland, I with my chest, I'm gonna say this: we would have won that game. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
the fact that we
And
made it this far with the roadblocks that we had,
Mhm.
I think it speaks levels to the max potential of this team. That hopefully come next big tournament, whether it's Copa Gold
Mhm.
Cup, and then eventually the next World Cup, that they can even just hit even further of this bar because now the expectation is round of 16
Yeah, I mean, it has
at
to be,
least.
yeah.
So how are you gonna get past that bar? And obviously it's gonna be new guys coming in, guys getting better, and most importantly, guys staying healthy.
Hmm.
I think I think we probably would have seen a more wins, more points on the board. Maybe we don't lose, or maybe we don't like tie Bosnia. Maybe we don't lose to Switzerland. But I do think that we probably would have ended up around in the same
Hmm.
kind of spot either way. Because I do think that if we didn't face Morocco in the round of 16, that we would have faced someone just as challenging or even more.
Hmm.
And we would have run into the same sort of kind of conversation. But I do think the biggest point of disappointment for me is that the fact that we get to that round of 16 and we give 45 minutes like we did, and then lose 3-0.
Yeah.
It's the scoreline, I think, that kind of makes me the most angry. Just
Leaves a
wishing
bad
that.
taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it really does, because you leave that game thinking, oh man, like what kind of, a bit embarrassing.
Canada took it to
3-0.
Morocco for a good half.
But we did, and we really did.
And what's going to show in
that.
history is Canada's
it
first
won't-
ever round of 16 was a 3-0 loss.
It won't show that on the scoreline, but that is really what the case is. And so as a country, we can definitely leave this World Cup with our head held high. But as fans, we do leave the day kind of like Tone said, with a bit of a bitter taste in your mouth.
Now, to just put a bow on Canada-Morocco game, 3-0 scoreline, cool, but also there's a 98th minute goal, which just didn't need to happen. Now, I know Canada had a lot of critics after the 6-0 game against Qatar, but again, goal differential matters in group stage.
Yeah.
This, it doesn't matter. I mean, I feel like this one, you're just taking the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I was a little bitter about it. Now, again, my country was just knocked out. That's always going to be why. But scoring a third goal when you don't need to, just to celebrate for the sake of celebration.
Oh no, I don't care about
that.
I have no problem with that.
You're at a World Cup if you have a chance to score.
Realistically, like they were on a very easy counter. Like you're not taking a goal scoring opportunity into the corner.
Again, if you're playing at a World Cup and you have a chance to kick a ball into a net, and like it doesn't matter. You're
strictly the stats, like to pad your stats.
Like, I would have done the exact same.
Exactly. I have no problem with it. It sucks for us, but I have no problem with it from their perspective.
And I bet you we would have done it. Like Canada would have
exactly. We would have done the same thing. We did.
I hope El Dictatore puts 6 past them regardless, but
100%. By the way, the song that you showed me yesterday, Tones, that's just going to be embedded as just a soundtrack go for this whole podcast.
Oh, boy.
All right, now, moving on to the next topic that is very controversial that has happened today. Unless, Ben, do you got one thing you want to say?
Actually, yeah. Can I, because I know we're moving away from Canada here, I just want to throw my props, because we're going to be moving to other countries here. So I don't know if any of you have been to McDonald's recently.
Oh, you got it.
Hell yeah.
My sister, here, I'll turn the blur off here. My sister went to McDonald's and she got a Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho.
I need to get one of these cups, to be honest. I've been laughing.
And a Yamal.
I need to go grab mine. I got the honorary one.
Today, Brazil lost to Norway, which I don't even want to talk about. That just breaks my heart. So I guess the only one left I have is, I don't know why you're clapping. What are you clapping for?
Because I made a bet with a coworker.
It's always a bet. It's always a bet with Tones. It's always a bet.
I'm convinced Tones isn't even a real sports fan. I'm convinced he just watches it so he can bet on it and complain about it.
I just thought this wasn't even like an online bet. Like this, I shook hands with the guy on this.
Still,
he's a Brazil
that does mean more.
Yeah. And also, I like to be right.
More than just a game.
One of my pre-tournament hot takes was that Brazil was going to crash out early. I had them losing to Japan in the round of 32 in my pre-tournament bracket. Yeah. So I was just like, that didn't happen. It almost did. So I'm like, okay, next you're losing to Norway, because I had Norway going to the quarters.
But as a football fan, you have to want Brazil to do well at a World Cup.
Hell no.
Not Vinny.
Hell no.
100%.
I still need Italy to catch them in World Cup.
Yeah, okay. So no. Take your bias out. Like, be a football fan for a second.
I
don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I don't know.
I don't like Vinny either. So no.
Absolutely being the Viking dominator, pretty entertaining.
That is pretty sick.
Fan.
Come on, Channing Tatum's
that's sick. You love an underdog story, but like Brazil at a World Cup, if you don't want Brazil to do well at a World Cup, like you're kind of not a football fan.
Buddy,
like I'm sorry. Like take your bias away, take your country away.
I have Italian heritage. Like it is what it is.
Canada has nothing against Brazil.
That's true,
bro. If you're one of my rivals, I don't even want you there. If
Canada's not a Brazil,
Germany, Spain, and France cannot make the World Cup, I'd be happy.
But Brazil,
I get the point of view of like national power to be good, but also like some people don't. Some people like new blood. There's two sides to it.
Also, now I can say, look who Italy had to be in a goddamn qualifying group with.
But Brazil's not a rival to Canada, though.
They're a rival to Italy, buddy.
That's not my thing. I'm not going off of rivals.
Okay, well, you know who is a rival to Canada?
Mexico.
Do you know who I want losing tonight? Mexico. Come on, England.
I'll back that.
Come on.
I can back that.
You don't think they're going to do a day at the Azteca? All right.
No, Mexico's winning this.
They're popping Viagra's, buddy.
I heard that. I
Tuchel
heard that.
confirmed that was just a rumor. They're not doing it.
That's got to be a rumor. Yeah, that can't be real. That
Obviously.
can't be real.
I mean,
Dude's
we'll
so
find out
funny.
if Jude scores, you'll really know because his celebration is literally just
Oh,
pointing it towards you. So,
All right, boys, we have to move on. We got about 10 minutes left, and I know this topic's going to take up a chunk. Round of 32 matchup. We have the USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. American striker Florian Balogun goes through the back of Tariq Maharemovic, future Juventus player, former Juventus player. Call it what you want. I don't want my players' Achilles torn up on international duty. But Balogun accidentally steps on the back of Maharemovic's leg. Ref says nothing. They go to VAR, comes back and sends him off. Americans are unhappy with the decision, but unfortunately they cannot appeal it due to World Cup ruling, except a White House official calls FIFA and the 1 game suspension gets suspended.
oh boy.
So Balogun is able to play in their round of 16 matchup against Brazil. Anybody have at it?
Oh.
I just
Do we
what are your
know-
thoughts?
You
Do
mean
we-
against
do-
Belgium?
Yeah, Belgium. Yeah. Do we
What
know
did
for
I
a
say?
fact?
He said Brazil.
Do we know for a fact that the White House actually called?
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But that is
Donald Trump said it. So
Yeah. Trump said it, and it was like
And-
there was a
yeah.
bunch of top officials saying a White House official spoke to a FIFA higher up, and FIFA has declined to comment on the
Yeah.
situation.
No,
The game is gone.
FIFA said
game is
that couldn't have been taken into consideration because of this
No,
rule.
no. Yes, I
someone-
meant
someone said
commenting on the fact that the White House officials spoke to them. They don't
Mm.
comment.
they
on
wouldn't
them.
say, they wouldn't confirm it. Yeah.
The game is gone.
What did they think was going to happen out of it? Regardless of if the White House had any influence in it or not, what did they think was going to happen? Like, you think everybody was going to be like, "Oh, okay." Even
It
if you
just
don't,
makes no. It's just insane at this point. Like
The
it's
middle
just
of a World
insane.
Cup. Now
Yeah.
I'm hearing because there is a bit of a precedent that's been
There's
set
been one other time.
Mm.
with Ronaldo
Mhm.
going into the World Cup, but it feels different doing it at a World Cup.
Now,
And again, it's
100%.
a
And Portugal
politician calling
appealed
on
it as well.
behalf. Like I don't
My-
know.
Yeah, it's just too. Yeah,
Like
it's
I
too
just
much.
I don't know. It makes no sense.
For me-
no explanation is rational in my opinion that we've been able to get so far.
for me, 2 things stand out heavy. One, with the Ronaldo situation, it was a 3-game ban for an elbow in World Cup qualifying. He served 1 game, and then they suspended the other 2 games. I think FIFA is very stupid for the way that they said that because you've seen suspensions millions of times get reduced. If you just say flat out the suspension is reduced, fans are obviously
Yeah,
going to be like,
yeah,
well, like it's
yeah.
because I want Ronaldo at the
Mhm.
World Cup. Sure, but you admitted that you want a Ronaldo at the World Cup playing. That's where you go wrong because now you have this situation where you're just giving Balogun a get out of jail free card.
Or
The
like,
sorry,
sorry.
no.
No.
I was going to say the other thing too is you bring in VAR to get rid of human error. So the ref wasn't even the one that gave the red card. VAR called
Exactly.
him over. He goes to VAR and VAR suggests to give the red card. So he gives it. Now FIFA's overstepping their mechanism to get
Yeah.
rid of human error. So my point is, why have a ref? A and B. What the hell is VAR for? If you're getting rid of all of these chances, but then actually VAR got it wrong, so we're just gonna step over that as well. And then they kept the red card. They just said it's red card worthy, but
It's
you're not
still-
gonna get suspended.
But see, and how?
What?
So you're literally changing the rules. Like
Yeah, 100%.
You are changing the rules of the goddamn
Dude,
sport.
guys are getting red cards for covering their mouths.
Like
They're
what
not
the
playing
hell
the
are
next
we
game.
doing?
They are not playing the next game.
I sneezed, but I'm
You're
suspended again.
changing the rules of the damn sport.
It's so it is like I think this World Cup has kind of highlighted a lot of the corruption that I think football
Yes.
fans have known for a while, and like maybe casuals haven't really been
Mhm.
like privy to.
I
but
know
like
a certain
But this
player
is
that didn't get a
watching-
red
there's
card for doing the
levels
same
to like
thing.
corruption.
watch-
like
you're watching Infantino literally get mad when Cape Verde score against Argentina. There's
Ridiculous.
literally a
And-
clip of him
Ridiculous.
going.
there's levels
And
to
saying
corruption.
after the game
man.
that he
like
was
there
sad
is.
for Argentina.
And last
like,
night it
come
leaked his
on.
daughter was in a Morocco jersey after the game. I'm
Yeah.
not saying anything about that,
No,
but
and like,
you,
but again,
like,
there's
come on.
levels to this. There's like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna change the hosting bid so that Saudi Arabia is able to host a World Cup.
So
Whatever.
we're stuck doing a
There's
Winter World
that,
Cup
and
again.
then there is literally changing the rules of the goddamn
The
sport
fact that
to favor a team.
the next World Cup is going to be hosted by 6 countries.
Yeah.
Take that
Isn't it 3?
No, because
Well,
Uruguay,
no, 'cause
Paraguay, and Argentina are all getting a game. for
Yo.
the
That's
Oh,
how
okay,
they were
that's-
able to
three
bring
of
it
the World
back.
Cup.
Now,
to
question: do
to
they
the
all
Middle
get
that's whatever.
automatic confirmation? Do they
No, no,
all
no, no, no.
qualify?
It's not whatever. No, it's not whatever because it changed. It's the whole rule of one. They want to go back to the Middle East as soon as
Yes, and
possible.
so they've
So
circumvented
they
the system
so
by
they
doing
yes
that
because you have to go to a certain amount of continents
because
before you
now
go
they
back to
cross
the.
off. Yeah,
Hold on.
Oh, but
So
isn't
you
it
have
for
you
like
have
an anniversary thing though of the
yeah,
World
yeah,
Cup?
but then
that's not
they
the
knock
real
out South,
reason though. That's their
but
Yeah.
yeah.
they knock out South America with that now, so they can go
Yes,
back to Saudi Arabia in
and you
2034.
get
For
yeah,
another
you get
dog
Europe
sh-
and Africa with
Mm.
Morocco and Spain.
But
So
Sorry,
that's three
question,
I gotta
continents in
watch my
one World Cup.
language. I gotta watch my
question,
language. But
Ben,
yo, these Winter World Cups, bro. I no
Ben, what were
that
the?
that
Sorry, finish your
sorry,
point. I
no,
feel
no, no.
bad.
Just, it was just the Qatar World Cup. Like it was a great tournament, but
But in
having it in the
November,
winter was
man, like, yeah.
I can't. Like I can't. No.
Yo,
We
I
good.
So
shouldn't
much
be able
better
to
than
celebrate my goddamn birthday with the World Cup. What are we doing? Ben, what were the three countries you said are each getting a game at home?
Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina, I believe.
Does that mean the three countries automatically qualify? Because if they're
I believe,
Yes. No,
hosting,
no. So
yeah, I believe
there will be
all
six
six.
automatic qualifiers for the next World Cup.
this
Yeah,
is
all six
stupid.
teams will be automatically qualified, and then it knocks out three continents and one World Cup.
So it
They're
can go
gonna
back to
expand the
Saudi
amount of
Arabia.
countries in it too. Watch. They're gonna
Apparently, by
expand it.
2038, they're looking to expand it. US want to host it again by
Mhm.
themselves in 2038, and they want to
Of course
expand
they
it to
do.
64 teams, apparently.
And it will happen.
Two hydration breaks a half now.
Clearly.
It will
Yeah.
happen.
Maybe Italy will make it.
Come on.
They will.
Um,
I promise you, they'll make the next World Cup. The youth are coming. The youth
That's
are
what people
coming.
said about this
I
World
wouldn't
Cup,
I wouldn't
though.
make that promise.
but they didn't
I
play
wouldn't
the
make
youth.
that
But they didn't
promise.
play the youth.
Exactly. They didn't play the youth. The youth are coming. They're using the new
I'll take
European
that
meta
bet.
that I'm not going to say on camera.
I'll
They're using the new Europe. They're going to be using the European meta that I'm not going to say on camera. But you know what it is.
Oh
Hey,
boy,
boys, it's okay. In 4 years, we can come back to this episode and we can see, okay?
that's true. It'll be out there forever now.
Okay. I'm gonna go one by one. Ethan, what are your thoughts? Do you think it should have been overturned delayed?
Obviously not. I mean,
I think you're gonna get the same answer.
it's the most egregious thing I've ever seen.
I know,
Like
but I need to make a clip. I need you guys saying
no,
it.
I get it, but it is as I said, it is the highest level of corruption for like one of the most corrupt organizations on this planet. Like I said, there is a difference between circumventing whatever hosting rules and this and that to literally redefining the goddamn rules. Like,
Oh, Tones.
I'm going to be in the minority here where I don't even think. I mean, I think usually, yes, that would be a red card. But the fact that it hasn't been this tournament, to me, it was a bit harsh because he wasn't even looking where his foot was going. And a certain little Argentinian man didn't get it when it was extremely deliberate and he was looking at, he knew what he was doing.
Of course.
He didn't get it. And we've seen other instances in the tournament of people not getting it. So try and keep the same consistency. Honestly, there's a lot of like panel people that said the same thing. So
I agree with your point
don't
that
overturn
it not
suspension,
necessarily
obviously.
it didn't necessarily constitute a red card, but you can't once you do a red card.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't
no.
have an
It-
appeal.
it's
Like this
it's
doesn't.
set in
It's not
stone.
how this works.
It's
That's
so
all I'm
maybe
saying.
back then before VAR, where if it was an actual like referee error, okay. But you had VAR review. He reviewed it and he deemed it their red card. It's got to stand.
Yeah,
Even if you
that's how it
want to
works.
review it again and think it's still wrong, like you can't be reviewing something a third time to overturn it.
You
Like
can't
that's
have
crazy.
the president of your country call the president of FIFA.
Yeah, no. Like
I don't
like,
think any other
that's crazy.
politicians ever gotten involved.
No.
Ben, your
Well,
thoughts? Well,
They're happy.
yeah, hold on. Let's hold that there.
USA. That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to go back to your point saying that because of the way that this World Cup's been played, it shouldn't be a red card. Look, my thing is, if on paper it's a red card, it's a red card. Like you're getting
It's
pissed
irrelevant,
off.
yeah.
You're getting upset at other games because they missed calls. So because they got yours, you're upset.
Not only did they miss calls, VAR missed calls.
Yeah. And now that VAR actually wasn't asleep and they did their job, you're upset, so you're getting rid of the call. How does that make sense?
I still think it's a little harsh because he didn't see where he was
Whatever.
landing.
But, like,
again, that's not the point.
it's
It's
done
the
is
point
done.
I
of
know.
being
I
taken
know.
away.
All right. One last point because we are running out of time. Neymar Jr. just confirmed he's retiring internationally. So I don't know if you guys have like 30 seconds to give a thought, but Neymar called it quits after today's goal,
Well,
which
there's bigger.
I
There's
said
bigger.
that's his last goal.
It was honestly, I think it was kind of beautiful for him to score that, even though it was so late that you knew they were going to be able to score a second. just kind of tie a ribbon on his career. It sucks that he didn't hit the heights maybe that we all maybe thought he was going to as he was coming out of Santos in like 2010, but he's a legend, man. It sucks to see Brazil go out this early, but yeah, I mean, he's walking on toothpicks at this point. So
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about what ifs with Canada. I mean, Neymar's career is maybe the biggest what if.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Still a
Balotelli's up
legend
there as
though.
well.
Still a legend though, and I hate
Sure.
the slander that he's gotten this season from multiple former England players or just England media. Just
Carragher.
blatant, yeah, just blatant disrespect for a legend, a guy that was easily a top 3 player in the world for a good portion of his career, was only behind probably 2 of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
one was a
but
teammate.
I also didn't need Vinny to score there to continue my parlay, but we're not going to talk about that.
Oh my God.
I thought you don't like Vinny. Why are you betting on him?
Because he's good. He's a good player. What do you
Wrap
want?
this
Yo,
up.
they had 2 pens
Wrap
and
it.
neither of them were given to him. All right,
Oh,
boys.
Bruno Gobert is the fries in the bag. Fries in the bag. Bro.
Okay.
Wrap. Let's
That
wrap.
has been the Boys on the Field podcast with my new setup. I just look beautiful.
Yeah, you do.
Visit
good.
Offside Boys shop if you want any type of jersey. They are incredible. Canada sadly fall, but the World Cup is still going, and we will definitely be back with more crazy takes for Ethan Gabor, Anthony Lancione, Ben Griffith. I'm Anthony Santia. Remember, always stay offside and tune in to the next one.
Forza Portugal!
Jesus Christ.